Another ancient Yakov match. True, true. Ancient Yakov. And spawning in the bottom left-hand corner of Tokamak, we have the blue Zerg player, the blue Zerg player himself, representing the Platinum Heroes from the land of the UK. It is Eva. You have to elongate the I and the A, otherwise you're not saying his name properly. And spawning in the right-hand corner, we have the red Protoss player himself, representing Team Little Fairy. It is Shameless. He is quite shameless. Oh no. Let's go. And look at the spray, Pappy. Look, if you were here for the Anonymous Cup, like, I know exactly who Shameless was. In the Anonymous Cup, 100%. We're getting juiced up. We be juicing. If you're here last night, you know what I'm referring to. The only thing older than Timeless Yakov. Yes, yes, the only thing. But for now, we're settling into our game, we're settling into our series. It is going to be a Hatch Gas pool here by Eva, standard opener. Likewise, Gate Expand out of Shameless. Crazy, nothing well. Shameless will have to fight the urge. I mean, it's too late. He couldn't fight the urge. we already know who Shameless was. All right, Kira, I believe you weren't here. You weren't here for the Anonymous Cup yesterday, but during the Anonymous Cup, there was a Protoss player that could not fight the urge to throw down those sprays, and immediately, as soon as I saw the first spray, I was like, "Ah, we know who this is. we know who this is." But yes, there was a Protoss player that kept spraying like under their pylon and under their Nexus. Obviously, the spray wasn't a juice box because it was a new account, so the spray, that specific spray wasn't unlocked, but yeah. It was a tell, it was a tell. Hope all is good. Always, happy, always. All is good. But it's little things like that that you look out for the Anonymous Cup, to give you like a sign of who the player is. It's the little things. Of course, we'll be getting more into that later on this evening. For day 2 of the Anonymous Cup. Now then. Now that we have our Stargate opener out of Shameless. Stargate into Oracle. Standard opener out of our red Protoss. Again, we don't really expect him to deviate too much. As Double Dep gets across the map, threatening the Shade, threatening Eba. Eba so far keeping up though. You have a Shameless now committing in. He's got his 2 adepts on the ground. He's got his 1 Oracle in the sky, but so far Eva is able to maintain himself. The base is taking a couple of hits, but for the most part Eva, he still has his drone count, building up his queens, and will eventually retake control of his 3rd. Now behind this, waiting for the follow-up, we have our 3rd base. Looks like we only stop at 2 Oracles, no 3rd Oracle, into a Forge, into a Twilight Council, into +1 and Blink. So standard follow-up out of Shameless. Again, Shameless, he isn't really one to be too cheesy or too hyper-aggressive. He's much more of a standard player amongst the Protosses out there. If you remember, we casted a best of 7 between Shameless and Wayne, and it was very intense, but it was basically Shameless playing standard every game, and it was Wayne just all-inning him, like game after game. Just like non-stop all-ins in that best of 7. And Shameless had mixed success when it comes to defending and surviving against that all-ins. Behind this Eva, just droning, taking his gases. Roach Horn's on the way, so safety Roach Horn here out of Eba. Not going into Ling Hydra. As Eba does get into the mineral line, gets a probe. Gets a worker, gets one, gets two. Last from here, Eba does pull away. Now going into Hydras, +1 range is on the way, so he's going into Roach Hydra, or at least Ling Hydra. Emphasis on the Hydras. With +1 range, most likely Eba is either going to go for a 3-way soul in, or is going to take up into Lurkers. Upgrades are on the way. Eba still being active. Shameless breaks out with his main army. Blink is about to finish, but not done yet. Pushing in towards the third, towards the fourth even. Gets a couple of volleys off. And going for the expansion, won't quite get it. Ling's forced to engage, but that's Eba, he's not ready for this. Yeah, more Lings are on the way. Hydra as well. Remember, he did get the safety Roach Horn, but he cancelled. Never mind. Yeah, Roach Horn was cancelled. Just straight up Ling Hydra, the base goes down. Massive pick off stasis as well. Shameless takes down the base, shuts down the Lings. From here, pulls away. Does pull away. And this was trading well for himself. Just trading well. Behind this, Eba is taking up into Hive and Lurkers, trying to slow the game down. And we saw Yang Yakov be successful with that, so we'll see if Eba can do the same. Shameless does have Storm on the way. Getting into Storm, not Colossus. Getting a 4th expansion. On par with the 4th base of the Zerg. Yeah, Eba, he's having a hard time keeping up. He's just moving out. He's just moving out at this point. Oh no! He's going to be slowed down. Does take a stasis to the face. And Shameless is taking it to Sky Toss. With the Robo, +1 air attack, fleet beacons on the way. Shameless more than happy to just embrace Sky Toss here and get into a longer game state. He's going to be basically trying to counter the eventual Lurker tech of Eba. So we're heading into a longer, later game. It's going to be Ling Hydra Lurker out of Eba, and it's going to be Sky Toss out of Shameless. Of course, with Storm support, with Immortal support as well. Lings are being active. It's going to be on Shameless to split up his army. The Oracles are... Oh, the Oracles were in position. One Oracle goes down. Meanwhile, Shameless bullying the army towards the left-hand side. Catching out Lings, catching out Hydras. Forcing him back. Right, guys, nice storms on the Lings. Lings getting shut down. They get one High Templar, not even that High Templar to survive. Oh my god, the storms are brutal. But the Lurkers are moving in. Eba, he wants to get that base, and it looks like he will. The Lunkers, they push forward. And even though Shameless does trade with the Ling Hydra, that's the problem. He traded with the Ling Hydra army, and the Lurkers are still untouched. Untouched Lurkers, they're pushing forward. The base is going to go down. And Eba can just keep pushing. Just keep rallying in. He's going for the kill. The Sky Toss army is not quite there yet. Shameless, he needed more time. He needed time for the Tempest. Oof, and GG gets called as Eba does force his way into the natural, and Eba will take game number 1. Ooh, GG. Eva able to weather the storm, able to, I mean, despite losing bases, despite losing some workers, he was able to build up and get into lurker tech, and with those lurkers, bam, he was able to strike across the map. Shameless was caught on the low ground. It was just a really awkward position by Shameless. I would say Shameless was caught out of position. He was on the low ground, his High Templar got surrounded, he was forced to spend all of his storms. But not just that, he was forced to spend his storms, and he lost every High Templar in the process as well. He lost all of his High Templar, lost his entire army. GG. GG, well played. With that, Eba takes the lead, and we'll see if Shameless can recover. We'll see if he can recover. We'll see if he can bounce back and force the ace match. Let's go. Players, they do need some time. Next game is going to be on Persephone. Ooh, one of these smaller maps in the map pool. Much smaller. Much more aggressive as well. Bearing in mind that Young Yakov is waiting for the winner of the series in the grand finals. And depending on the trajectory of these games, I think we're going to be lined up quite nicely. Let's go. We're going to be lined up quite nicely with the Anonymous Cup. I was a little bit concerned, but we're going to be okay. Going to be okay. As here we go, our players are ready. And again, because the map is so much more aggressive here, it does mean a couple different things. It means that the game state that we just had most likely isn't going to unfold, with Shameless trying to defend on 4 bases and get into Sky Toss, with Eba trying to like stabilize here on lurkers as well. I would imagine our players are going to be a little more assertive here, but we'll see. We shall see. As spawning in the top left-hand corner of Persephone, we have our blue Zerg player leading the series 1-0. Representing the Platinum Heroes, it is Eva. And spawning in the bottom left-hand corner, we have his opponents. We have the red Protoss player representing Team Little Fairy. It is Shameless. We go. So calming down, settling in. And anyway, he has taken a lead. No, he didn't have much expectations coming into this tournament. Know that he's in the middle of his exams. He was like, I'll play a little bit, and then when I get knocked out, I'll finish like revising my studies. It's like, you're gonna go all the way, papi. Let's go. Does take a lead against Shameless. I mean, I can still see this going to the ace match 100%. Shameless, he had some really strong moments last game when it came to sniping bases, trading against the Lings, keeping up with the aggression. A lot of it, honestly, did just come down to the fight. It came down to the fact that, as we mentioned before, Shameless, he was caught on the low ground. He was caught pushing into lurkers and pushing up into the Ling Hydra. He got surrounded. He was forced to throw down the storms. And he lost everything in the process. So just a really rough position for Shameless, as he was torn apart. We'll see if he can stabilize. I mean, we know he can, but the pressure is on. Pressure is on. Players are opening up. Nothing crazy yet. Last game, Shameless did go Stargate opener into a third base with double Oracle. We expect the same thing. We expect the same thing into +1 and Blink. If he deviates, we will point it out. We'll be like, oh my god. If he goes for an earlier Twilight Council, if he delays his Forge. But Shameless isn't usually that kind of cheeky player. Despite the name. Not often Shameless. Likewise, Eba just going into his own third base. Because the map is a little bit smaller here, we could see Eba, instead of going into Ling Hydra, actually commit into Roaches this time. Last game, he did cancel the Roach Warren. Did cancel. So there's the poking in. Oracle's on the way. Shameless with 2 adepts. He can one-shot workers, so he can threaten a dive. But Eba should be keeping up with these adepts. It does keep up. Likewise, there's that Oracle opener. Second Oracle's on the way. From here, Shameless is going to be expanding. And from here, we should be seeing a Twilight Council and a Forge. So far, does get 1 drone. Does get 1 worker. Eba, he attempts the run by. Shameless is keeping up. At least he was. 1 adept is left behind. And will slip away. Does slip away. Shameless, he will defend. Shameless does move out. 5 adepts move out, which means nothing going to defend. The pylon is going to go down. Can we force a cancel? No shot. Okay. The Oracles, they race back home in time. But nice damage here with the Lings. At the same time, adepts, they shade into the bases. Not many Lings at home to defend, but they are coming out in time. And Eba, he will hold. He will hold. He keeps up with the adepts. Behind this, Forge and Twilight Council, +1 and Blink. Standard follow-up out of Shameless. Does play that standard. Likewise, Oracles, they threaten the bases. And, oh, my apologies, I just assumed +1 and Blink, but no, we do change things up here, +1 and Charge. So Shameless is going to be more aggressive here. This isn't necessarily a cheese or anything like that, but this is an earlier timing. With this, we can go for an earlier timing with Archons, with Charge Ults, and with +1. So Shameless can be more aggressive this game. Okay. At the same time, it's going to be Eba to realize what's going on, to recognize what's happening. But now it gets us around. Ooh, and he should notice this, warping in Zealot reinforcements. That is very suspect. Now he knows. Again, he sees Zealots, not Stalkers or Adepts. And you're not to be warping in Zealots to defend like this unless you're working towards Charge. Hydra down on the way. Baneling Nest already in production, so it's going to be Ling Bane Hydra. Roaches would be a more secure way to get into this, but Banelings, they can do the trick. And there we go, safety Banelings. Getting to safety Banelings. Likewise, Shameless. Still building up, waiting for Storm. Storm is almost done, and when Storm finishes, then he pushes. Then it's time to move out. And hit with +1, Charge, and everything else. And again, Eba, can he hold without Roaches? The problem with using just a pure Ling Bane Hydra composition is just how vulnerable this army is going to be to Storms, right? Like Storms, Roaches, they can tank like 1 or 2 Storms, right? They can take them to the face and still be okay. Ling Bane can't. A Storm will shut Eba down. Oh, Lings, they're coming for the surround. He wants Immortal, and he's going to get it. A massive catch here from Eba. Lings, they peel off towards High Templar, forcing out Storms. The Immortal does fall. These are better trades for the Zerg. Getting the Immortal, forcing out storms, delaying the expansion. Drop Lords are on the way. Let's get into his Drop Lords. Loading up Banelings, let's go! Loads up Banelings and Lings. For a moment I was like, yo, we're gonna be dropping on top of the High Templar, but this is to drop into Mineral Lines. This is for economic damage. Oh, very late Baneling speed! But he had the money for it, did forget. So we got slow Banelings waddling in. Oh, the chances of these slow Banelings avoiding storms, it's not high. it's not looking likely, but the drops are still moving in. Drops they throw in the bases, storm here on the Hydras. Banelings they at least force a cancel. Force a cancel. Banelings back into the mineral line. No major connections. Dropping on the High Templar. Oh, not quite. Heading into the main instead. Banelings they do crash in. 17 probes in total, not bad. Seventeen workers go down. Lane drop back into the main. Baneling speed is now done. And can he get on top of the High Templar? There's that one storm. Baits out one. Oh! There's High Templar. There's 4 High Templar left. 4 Templar remaining. Banelings roll in towards the mineral line. Oh, and they're bunching up. Brutal storms. They do get in. They crash on in. They get 19 probe kills. The final High Templar goes down, but there's still massive mortar waiting for them. Hydras, they have to back off. Link drop gets cleaned up. And the base goes down. The base falls. Shameless down to 2 expansions. And from here, either he can just retreat and remax on Link Hydra. It was tense trying to deal with all those High Templar. But now there's only 2 High Templar remaining. Mainly Immortals and Archons. I mean, again, this is still a really robust army. I'm not entirely convinced with the Ling Hydra defense. We'll see if we can pull it off. I mean, look at how beefy this is. There's 7 Immortals. At this point, Shameless is all in. He's all in. Even he does hit the 3rd, forces the cancel, forces the all in. But Shameless, he can still win the game with this army. He has 2 storms. He has 2 storms with this. 3rd base goes down. Storm on the initial Banelings. 1 storm left. Speaking of, still holding on to that storm. Storm here on the Banelings. Yeah, they don't know where the Banelings. Lings they crumble. And Shameless, he's doing it. He's doing it. Who needs a 3rd? He needs a 4th. Banelings, they crash into the Archons, they crash into the Immortals, and they can just tank it. They can just tank those Banelings. As Shameless is going in for the kill. Takes down the mineral line. Hydras are trying to hold their own. They take down the Prism. Prism goes down. They barely get 1 Immortal as well. They get 2 Immortals. But there's still 5. There's still 5 Immortals left. And again, Shameless going for the kill, going for the throat. Eba, he cannot produce. He cannot build up. Not against this kind of army. Again, 2 storms, 7 Immortals, and a dream. And Shameless, he has done it. He breaks the natural. Eba, he does have a higher economy, and he can try to build up and try to muster up an army. It's going to be close. Recall Zealots to reinforce. Let's go. So that's 5 Zealots. Every little bit counts. Here we go. The boys are being pulled. Boys are being pulled. Slow zone on the Hydras. There is detection. The slow zone is impacting this. He gets one. He gets one. He gets two. There's 3 immortals. 3 immortals left. Down to 2. The Hydras, they do well for themselves. They take down the Archon. No shot at Eva. He's holding. 1 immortal left. The Hydras. Oh my god. They barely clean up the army. There's just the mothership. Oh no, the Spore. The Spore is killing the mothership. Again, it was a clutch hold out of Eva. He had to pull all the boys. I say that the Archons are coming in. There you go. 1 mothership, an Archon, 2 Zealots. Oh, these Oracles actually could have made a huge difference here. I mean, shout out to Shameless for not F2ing, but these Oracles, they have full energy. We could have seen stasis traps. They couldn't even just activate their pulsar beam and just killed everything. That was 3 full energy Oracles. Ay, ay, ay. That could have that could have, I mean, regardless, that Eva still does tap out. GG gets called. Shameless, he will tie up the series 1-1. We are going to the ace match. Whew, GG. Behind that, Shameless, he was expanding. He was retaking his 3rd base. Eba no longer had any economic lead. And with that, Eba, he is broken. And we're going to game number 3. Let's go. Let us go. So we're going to the ace match. Oh no, Eba, his mental may have been broken. May have been broken. We're getting in. We're getting into this. Oh, into the ace match. And we are going to be getting into Ultra Love. Let's go. Getting into Ultra Love. As we do need a moment for our players. Do need a moment. And again, we'll see how this story ends. We'll see who can make it through to the finals to face up against Young Yakov. Will it be Shameless? Will it be Eva? Oh boy. Here we go. As we're getting into that ace match. And again, Eva, he did well for himself when it came to crippling the economy, but the problem was the main army. The problem was the mass Immortal Archon. It traded so well, so efficiently. It was still a very clutch hold. A very close finale to the game. But here we go, spawning in the top right-hand corner of Ultra Love. We have the purple Zerg player. Sorry, the blue Zerg. We have the blue Zerg player himself, representing the Platinum Heroes from the land of the UK. Being forced into the ace match. Can he bring it back? It is Eva. Eva. And spawning in the bottom left-hand corner, we have someone. We have the purple Protoss player representing Team Little Fairy. It is Shameless. Here we go. We made our way into the ace match again. Shameless, he was playing well for himself. He was doing well when it came to crippling the bases, crippling the economy, and forcing the all-in, but the problem was that he forced the all-in, right? The problem was that he forced his opponent to break out, and it was quite an army that Shameless had built up. Very formidable force, something that, alas, Eba could not deal with, could not handle. Now we find ourselves in the ace match. Oh boy. From here, we're going for the initial hatch gas pull, standard open out of Eba, likewise standard open out of Shameless. Now, what we did learn last game, especially on a smaller map, is that Shameless, he is willing to deviate from the norm and go into a more charged Archon Storm heavy composition instead. That does make more sense on Persephone. We spoke about the game previously, about how the map is much smaller. It's a smaller map, shorter rush distance by ground, so you can be more aggressive on Persephone. Here, Ultra Love is similar, I would say. The rush distance by ground is short. We often see a lot of all-ins on Ultra Love, especially from the Zerg side of things, going into German taxis, Ling Queen walks across the map, 3 base Hydra all-ins. It's quite common here on Ultra Love, just because the rush distance by ground is so short. But if a Protoss player can get up to 4 bases on this map, it is much more easier to defend, to stabilize, and to force a longer macro game. So because of that, we often see the extremes. We often see either very short games or much longer ones. As usual, that's to move out. To move out. Just keeping tabs on things, being as annoying as possible. The oracles are on the way. We saw this in game 1. Meanwhile, as the adepts are busy, Lings, they do move out for a counterattack. As they delay the third. Nice catch. Third base is delayed. Shameless does recognize, hold up, the Lings are across the map. Let's go in. So far, Eba is keeping up. Adepts take shade into the main. There are still a handful of Lings though. Yeah, they pop out just in time. They get us around. One Adept does fall. Gets one, get both Adepts. And Eba, he does take a much stronger start to the game. Shuts down the Adepts. Denies the third base. Contains Shameless on 2 bases. Ay, ay, ay. Twilight Council gets thrown down. Are we going into Glaives? Are we committing? As this is a very late third for Shameless, and it's going to be denied once again. Or will it? It's going to be close. Oh my god. Ooh, does force a cancel. Forces a cancel, kills the probe. Oh my god, everything just going south here, everything falling apart. Shameless, he just cannot expand. He's stuck on 2 bases. Blink is on the way. At this point, may just be forced into a 3 base all in. We gotta get juiced up. True. That's what we were missing. We gotta juice up. We gotta hydrate. Eva chamber on the way. Should be for plus on melee. But again, a very strong start for Eba. There it is. Melee's on the way. This is gonna be for Ling Hydra production. Save the Roachhorn. Never mind. We'll see if he commits. As Shameless, he has to move out. He has to do something across the map. Gets a tumor, gets an overlord, not bad. It is something. Takes down a second tumor as well. Takes down a second tumor. Lings, they bypass the main army. They're headed for the third. But there are plenty of oracles. They will defend. Defend back at home. One queen gets started. Nice transfuse. Lings coming from behind. Stasis is brutal despite that. One stalker goes down. Despite that, does catch a stalker. Things are still keeping up. Ooh, massive stasis though. Yeah, massive stasis this time. Shameless, he can try to snipe those queens. Behind this, the Roachhorn was only a safety Roachhorn. He's not making any roaches, going into Ling Hydra. As Eba, he does cut workers a little bit earlier. Staying on a lower drone count, Shameless he does now take an economic lead. He's up by 10 probes. It shows just how few drones Eva has been making. ZvP is committing. More stasis traps though. More traps popping up. Catching out 2 more stalkers. Nothing major. Does force back the army. Likewise, stalkers getting surrounded. Getting another, 2 stalkers. Another 2 stalkers going down. Now Eva's somewhat droning up, but only somewhat. Again, the droning is still quite late for Eva. And Shameless, he is building up. We have Storm about to finish. 4th base is on the way. Gets spotted by Eva. Does spot the expansion. Oh my god, jeez. That's the Lings, they take a storm to the face. That's a brutal storm. And Eva, he doesn't really have the economy here to, or he hasn't had the economy to take up into lurkers. So he's stuck on Ling Main Hydra for the near future. He's drawn up to 74. I do favor Shameless when it comes to the army composition. As Shameless, he has made it to Storm. But we'll see what Eva can get done. Railing speed is on the way. Eva being active. Now got to be zoned away. Drop loader in production. Fleet beacon for Shameless, working towards Skytos. Stabilizing on 4 bases. And we'll see if Eva can break him. There's that drop. Drop into the bases. Eva maxing out on Ling Main Hydra. I'm still worried about the storms though. That's going to be 3 storms being thrown down. A little bit trigger happy there from Shameless. And Bailings, they do break in. 1 connects. Likewise, the Overlords are getting caught out despite that 18 probe kills. 18 workers going down. The 4th base is going to be broken. Not bad. Eva takes down the 4th. Gets into the mineral line. Probes are going down. 30, 34. Oh my god. 30, 35. 35 workers going down. And we'll take down the Nexus. At the same time, Eva coming in from behind. Not quite able to collapse in. There's still a lot of storms. So another storm here on the Lings. The Lings are melting. But at the same time, Shameless, he is running out of storms. Yeah, he's out. At this point, he's out of storms. Oracle's forced to engage. The base is under fire, and Eva, he will break the expansion just barely. Nexus goes down. Yes, he gets to get the hell out of here. Now, we've been here before. Last game, Shameless lost his 3rd. He just went for the all-in. And that should be happening here as well. With Shameless, he lost his 3rd base, and now he has to commit across the map. It's all or nothing for Shameless. He has how much? He has 2 carriers. Oh my god. He has 2 carriers, plus 1 air attack. He's gonna have 3 High Templar, 2 Archons, 2 Immortals. Now this army is less beefy than last game, but at the same time, Eva also has a smaller army. Shameless supply blocked. Uh-oh. Shameless is supply blocked. It's gonna slow him down. Hydra's getting caught out. Hydra, they fall to a couple of Zealots. A better trade for Shameless. But again, Shameless and easy storms to connect. The first storm on the Bailings. It's okay. There's soon going to be 1 more storm. He's falling back. Does fall back. That's a lot of Hydras. Okay, he's got at least one. He's got two. He's got two storms with the army. He falls back. It retakes his third. But he has some room. He has some room to breathe. Remember, no hive, no lurkers. Just pure Lingbane Hydra. As eBay does try to peel off. Heading into the bases. At least trying to. Shameless does intercept. Storm of the Banelings. Banelings are getting caught out. Shameless, he can still take a fight. Even knows that he has to be so carefully engaging, especially considering there's no hive, there's no vipers, there's no abductions, no lurkers. This is just such a fragile army. Even he's one bad fight away from losing everything. Shameless, he's able to stabilize on 3 bases. Meanwhile, Banelings drop into the natural. Shameless, he does notice. He does keep up. Eba falling back. Again, it's one of those things where Eba, yes, he is maxed, but Eba, the tech is not there, right? He's maxed on Lingbane Hydra. He has 1/1 upgrades. He does not have +2. Likewise, he has no hive. He is getting a spire, which will help. But the problem isn't really the Sky Toss, it's the Storm. I mean, I say that, it's actually 5 carriers. Jesus. Okay, never mind. The Sky Toss is also now becoming a problem. Shameless is claiming a 4th. Eva's maxed out. Banelings, they attempt to run by. Shameless defends. Eva moving in and should deny the expansion. Oh, won't be able to. Has to get the hell out of here. Banelings rolling in. They catch a high tempo, not bad. Yeah, they smash on in, but nice control out of Shameless. Does blink in time. Does hold. Shameless is holding. Lings, they do break in. Ooh, another brutal storm. Lings are being cleaned up. Shameless is pushing. As Eva, he does an I+2. Cybercore goes down. Not a bad pickup. Takes down the Cybercore. Corruptors are on the way. They're finally the infestation bit at 15 minutes. Jeez, almost 16 even. Very late pit, but it's on the way. This is still not a composition that gives me much confidence, but it's an army. How many had Templar? 7. There's the first storm. We're looking for like at least 6 more. There's the second. Army pulls back. I mean, this is a death blow if I've ever seen one. But trying to find a way in. Oof. Does take a couple storms to the face. So Romai is dealt with. Corruptors are being active. And he just sends it right down mid. Okay. Sends it down mid instead. There's the recall. The base does fall. But I'll be honest, I don't think the base really matters too much. Like, it's the army that's still a problem. And the fact that Eva has no lurkers, the hive is on the way. It's about to finish. Corruptors, they go in. Can they bring down the expansion? Recall's on cooldown. Not the base recall though. The mothership recall. And we're just going for the base trade. Shameless, he will lose his third, he will lose his fourth, but he has a massive army. This already happened once this game where he lost his bases, but he just moves out with everything else. Gets a base. Takes down the expansion. Still pushing in. Eva cannot deal with this. Storms, they shut down the Hydras. The Corruptors are on their own. Oh god, massive storms here just covering everything, and Eva, he will lose this army. The Corruptors, they fall one after the other. Storms were insane, and Shameless has done it. Shameless, he has done it. Who needs bases, Pappy? Who needs them? GG gets called, and Shameless, he will claim the series 2-1, advancing on to the grand finals. GG. GG, well played again. Eva did a great job when it came to denying bases and crippling the economy. That is true, but he was basically all in. That's what we were trying to allude to earlier, but yes, Eva, he was basically all in there. He had no hive, he had no infestation, he had no lurker den. He was just committing into Ling Bane Hydra, and he was stuck on Ling Hydra for a long time. Eventually, he did try to tech out of it, but it took a long time for that to happen, right? It took a long time for that decision to be made to back off and start taking into hive and start taking into corruptors and start getting out of purely Ling Bane Hydra, as Eva's army just didn't really scale well enough, not compared to Shameless's army, into a longer game. GG. GG, well played. With that, Shameless, he will advance on, and he will make it to the grand finals. GG. GG. Oh. GG, well played. And with that, we have our two finalists here. It's going to be a best of 5 between Shameless and Young Jakob. Let's go.